Okay. We're going to talk about caring what other people think. It's going to be juicy. It's going to be good. So get excited. Okay. Okay. I had a couple conversations with people recently about caring what other people think and being yourself fully. In response to, or just, I guess, I was asked if I cared what people thought about me putting out these videos on Instagram, and if it was scary or if it was hard. And yes, both. For sure. I feel like this all has to do with vulnerability, it has to do with authenticity, and it has to do with valuing other people's opinions of you. And I want to just talk a little bit about my thoughts on that, my experience with that, a shift that I've had in that area of my life. So yeah, here we go. Got some notes. So caring what other people think and being concerned with other people's opinions of me is what prevented me from actually making a video and putting it on Instagram, or making anything really for social media, and just talking about stuff I want to talk about for way too long. I know what my ideal life looks like, and it involves doing stuff like this. But because of that fear of what other people thought, I haven't done it for a long time, but I've wanted to do it for years and years and years. And I don't know where the shift for me came, but it came recently, and I'm going to try and, reflect on where it came from. I think it had something to do with maybe the fact that I know what I want my dream ideal life to look like, and me caring more about what other people thought of me than what I thought of me was stopping me from taking the steps to get there. And I think I was just finally getting to a place where I was like, fuck, am I gonna do this my whole life? Am I really gonna value other people's opinions more than my own, to the point where I'm never gonna do the things that I want to do, and I'm never fully gonna be me in every situation possible? And I just didn't want to answer that question with yes anymore. And I actually was listening to a podcast the other day from Amy Young. It was the first podcast of hers that I listened to, and I zoomed straight into the episode that was called Caring What Other People Think, or How to Stop Caring What Other People Think, or something, because it's such an interesting topic for so many of us. And she said in there, I think she just asked, what's more important than caring what other people think in your life? And my answer to that question is, it's more important that I live the life that I want to live and bring my dream life into reality than caring what other people think. It's more important that I'm happy. It's more important that I feel like I'm being authentic. I feel like I'm being real and kind, and kindness in general is more important, and empathy and connecting with people and saying things that could help other people, making a video just because I want to, but also because it's a cool way to connect with people. And a lot of my aha moments and growth moments came from watching people just talking authentically about their life and their situation. And why not? I just wanted to try it myself. So there's a lot of things that are a lot more important than caring what people think. And there's going to be a few takeaway questions from this, and I think that's one of them. If you have a pen and paper and you want to do some reflecting, write that down as your first question in this kind of topic of caring what people think. Here's some journaling activities to do to kind of work through maybe why we care so much about it, or what you can do to not care so much. So question 1, what's more important in your life than caring what other people think? The second one comes from another, I think it was another podcast or another, I think it was another podcast episode from another girl that I follow, a lovely lady named Erica, whose podcast is called The Confidence Chronicles. And I don't know if she was talking specifically about caring what people think, but she was talking about the greater subject of, like, you know, reaching your fullest potential in this life, kind of. And she asked the question, what are you, this isn't going to be exact of what she said, but basically the gist was, what are you missing out on because of XYZ? And you can fill that in with, because you're caring too much what other people think. What are you missing out on? What are you foregoing as an experience in your life? Or what are you giving up? What are you losing out on? Whatever. What are you basically missing out on as an experience in your life because you're caring what other people think? And just thinking about that question also makes you realize how much caring too much what other people think of you, you know, stops you from experiencing and stops you from being yourself. And it's so interesting how we put other people's opinions of us before our own opinions of us so often, when at the end of the day, what's more important to me is to do what feels right to me and to be successful on my terms. Like, I define success as living this life that I have in my dreams, which is being super authentic, having a creative kind of career in my own path, and I can't remember what I said already. Being authentic, being happy, being kind, like being connected with the people I love. And success doesn't necessarily have to be what the norm is or what other people in your life want to tell you success looks like for you. You need to have that defined for yourself. And yeah, I think it's interesting when we change our actions to please others, it's only harming ourselves. I mean, care what people think in the sense of, don't be a dick, and like, don't be empathetic, and don't put your loved one's needs, you know, in an important place to you. But I mean, you know, don't let what you think other people want to see from you, or what you think other people like about you, sway you into living the life that is going to please others. I feel like I was a people pleaser for so long, and I still have aspects of that. And it's just, you give up an aspect of yourself to please other people. And I always knew, and I always read and saw and heard the phrase, you know, don't care what other people think, but it just never really sunk in. And it just, I don't know what made it sunk in. I want to be helpful here. I don't want to just say, I don't know where this came from. It just came out of nowhere. But I think you're going to see it in a particular way, or read it in a particular manner from a certain person at some time in your life, and it's just going to hit home. And you'll really start to practice it. I always believe it. I always knew it was true. But to actually start practicing being fully authentic and not caring what people think is really freaking a magical thing. Like, it changes everything. And it's in so many different areas of our lives. Like, I feel like now I still get this fear when I make a video and I go to post it, and all the thoughts rush through my head of what, people could say. They might say this, or this, or maybe I think of specific people. What if this person says this or thinks this? And most of the time, P.S., we're not even afraid of what people think of us. We're afraid of what we think they think of us. They're probably not even thinking it at all. Like, there's that quote where people say, like, most of the things that we fear people are thinking about us, they're not, because they're too busy thinking about themselves. That's not the quote, but you know what I mean. So yeah, it comes in so many different areas of our life, and for me, posting has been an area where it's getting much easier. I still have all those thoughts running through my head, and before they would run through my head before I even made the thing, and then it would stop me from making the thing. Then I kind of, worked on some stuff, and I got to a point where, okay, now I made the thing, but then I was too afraid to post it. And now I make the thing and I go to post it, and I still have all those fears, but I just, right before I'm gonna do it, I'm just like, no, and I just hit post, and there it is, it's out there now. And I don't have you shouldn't have anything to be afraid of if you're just being yourself. If you're being yourself, truly, wholly, 100%, there's going to be people that don't like that. But at least deep down that you're being yourself, and that's what really matters. You're making yourself proud, and you're doing what's right for you. So if someone else doesn't like that, then they can just they can unfollow you. They can go somewhere else on the internet. That's fine. It's when you are changing yourself to do what other people think and post what you think other people want that you start to get that internal icky feeling of like, this doesn't really feel like me. And in the long run, it's just not going to make you feel fulfilled or make you feel authentic or like yourself. So yeah, that's an area of my life where it's really improving, just to the point where I'm like, hey, no, just put it out, fuck it, be yourself. That's all that matters. You're being a good person. If people don't like it, then they don't like it. I mean, if someone calls me out on something that I didn't realize I was saying from a negative place or a place of privilege or something I just didn't research, then yeah, I'd love to have that conversation with that person. But when people are just putting out, like, I'm not saying that I'm getting this right now, but I'm saying if that's ever a fear in your mind of putting stuff out that you're going to get hate, just know that that person is probably not in a good place if they're on the internet just spewing hate. So on that note of me feeling like I'm getting better at it in that area, there's other areas where it's still hard, like when I'm in my car singing and I'm having a great time and I'm like, you know what, like when I pull up to a stop sign, I kind of tone it down and like I don't really, keep going for it. But I'm like thinking to myself, if someone pulls up in a car beside me and I'm like jamming out and singing, and like they're gonna be like, oh, then that's not my kind of person anyway. I don't care about that person. Like, I don't care to entertain that mindset for them. If like the person that I care what they think about me is going to be the person that pulls up beside me and starts dancing along, or is like, yeah, freaking look at her go, there she goes, she's having a good time. So yeah, there's so many areas, and it's like a lifelong journey to work on not caring what other people think and just doing what's right for you. What else did I write down here? Yeah, you kind of have to make the choice to do what's right for you before what's right for other people. And that can be harder in some situations than others, like if it's parents or a significant other or someone really close to you that feels like what you're doing isn't right or whatever. But if you know what's right for you, then it's right for you, and you just have to do it and be it. And this is a conversation in authenticity. Like a third question to kind of reflect on here is, what does your dream life look like? What would your life look like if you didn't care what anyone thought of any of your actions? And make some notes, because I can assume that there's places in all of our lives where we act a little differently or we dim our light a little bit because of what we think someone will think of us. Even the most confident people, I'm sure, have different areas where we kind of play small a little bit. So kind of think about that. And it's just a really interesting idea, the whole aspect of authenticity. Like, authenticity to me means being yourself in every situation, and kind of, maybe you don't even know who yourself is, right? But it's just doing what in your gut feels right, and just being curious about where your interests lie and following them and creating based on that, and speaking up when you feel like something needs to be said that feels right in your world, and being kind in a situation where maybe it's not cool to do so, or there's so many examples. And I think getting to a point where you're focusing on your own authenticity and learning to like yourself and who you are, I think confidence and caring less what other people think comes from that place of working on your self-love and working on valuing yourself and how you feel about yourself and your desires and what you want out of life and what you value, if I didn't already say that. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of what I wanted to talk about. Reflect on those questions. What's more important than caring about what people think? What are you missing out on because you're caring what people think? And what would your dream life and your dream self look like if you were living a life where you didn't change your actions for anyone? You didn't care what anyone thought. And see where that takes you. And I feel like I have so many more thoughts on this topic, but they're not coming to mind right now, so it's probably going to be an ongoing conversation for me. But yeah, I think we just need to take it easy on ourselves and really value our own opinion and not let the opinion of a million other people who may or may not be thinking or caring about or hating on us affect what we do, and just really do yourself, be yourself, live your life, and do what's right for you. And remember that your opinion of yourself is the most important, and you have intrinsic value, and thus your opinion is valuable. And no one else's opinion of you should be more important than your own, because you live your life, you're with you every minute of every day. So that's got to mean something, right? So yeah, thanks for watching. I always love to hear when people continue this conversation with me after, so let me know what you think, and I'd be interested to hear what your answers to those questions are. So have a good day, be yourself, and fuck all the haters. Don't care what they think. Do something today. Here's your actionable item. Do something today that maybe you wouldn't have done because you were worried of what someone thought of you. That is a terrifying task, I know, but just play with it. See what happens. Bye.